The film revolves around Vic Van Allen and Melinda Van Allen, a married couple with a seemingly perfect life. Although they appear wealthy and well-respected in their social circles, their marriage is troubled and deeply complex. Vic, a quiet and introspective man, is an early retiree from a tech company, while Melinda is a free-spirited, flirtatious woman who enjoys living life on her own terms. They live together with their young daughter, Trixie, but the facade of a happy family conceals darker, unresolved issues. Vic may appear calm and unbothered by Melinda's actions, but deep down, her behavior disturbs him. Melinda, on the other hand, seems to take pleasure in pushing the boundaries of their relationship. Throughout their marriage, she has had multiple affairs with other men, doing so openly and without hiding anything from Vic. This dynamic of Melinda's infidelity and Vic's outward indifference forms the unsettling foundation of their marriage. While Vic remains outwardly composed, there's a clear power game at play, with Melinda testing Vic's patience and limits. At first, Vic tolerates Melinda's infidelity with a seemingly passive attitude. Their marriage is built on this strange agreement. Melinda has relationships with other men, while Vic merely watches without confronting her. Melinda, in a sense, takes this as a challenge to provoke Vic even further. However, Vic's patience starts to wear thin as Melinda continues to escalate her behavior. One of Melinda's relationships is with a younger, attractive man named Joel Dash. Melinda doesn't try to hide her affair with Joel. In fact, she regularly brings him into their home and social events. Vic, observing quietly, seems unfazed by their affair. He even talks to Joel on occasion, pretending to be friendly. Meanwhile, Melinda continues to openly flaunt her relationship with Joel, pushing Vic's emotional boundaries. Her provocative actions seem to be a way of testing Vic's limits. During one of their house parties, Melinda and Joel's intimacy becomes even more visible. They spend time together in full view of the guests, with their closeness becoming the subject of gossip. Vic's friends take notice and begin questioning him about Melinda's behavior. Vic, in his usual calm manner, dismisses their concerns and even jokes that he might have killed Joel. While the comment is presented as a joke, it reveals the darker aspects of Vic's personality for the first time. But neither Melinda nor their friends take the comment seriously. Shortly after this party, Joel disappears. Melinda is initially confused by Joel's sudden absence, but Vic's cryptic remarks make her suspicious. Vic suggests that Joel is no longer in their lives and will not be coming back, subtly implying that he might have had a hand in Joel's disappearance. Although Melinda is unnerved by Vic's calm demeanor, she doesn't fully comprehend just how dangerous he could be. The film leaves it ambiguous whether or not Vic is responsible for Joel's disappearance, but it strongly suggests that he may be involved. Vic's reactions to these events provide significant insights into his character. Outwardly, he maintains a calm and controlled demeanor, but internally, he is deeply disturbed by Melinda's behavior. As Melinda continues to have affairs with other men, often flaunting them in front of Vic, he grows increasingly uncomfortable. However, instead of directly confronting the situation, Vic chooses to quietly endure it. His silence leaves the audience wondering about the extent of his internal turmoil. Melinda, meanwhile, takes a kind of pleasure from Vic's silence. She seems to derive satisfaction from continuously testing his boundaries, pushing him further to see how much he can take. However, she underestimates the depth of Vic's suppressed anger. His outward calm masks the darkness growing within him, and Melinda remains largely unaware of just how close Vic is to reaching his breaking point. After Joel's disappearance, Melinda quickly moves on and finds a new lover. This time, it is a young and talented pianist named Tony Cameron. Like with Joel, Melinda doesn't hide her relationship with Tony. She invites him into her home, and Tony soon falls deeply in love with her, wanting a serious relationship. Vic notices this new affair, but, as usual, he outwardly seems unaffected. However, Tony's presence slowly begins to wear down Vic's patience even more. At one point, Vic decides to confront Tony. Approaching him in a seemingly friendly manner, Vic asks Tony questions about his relationship with Melinda. However, behind this facade of friendliness lies an implicit threat. Vic brings up Joel's disappearance in a way that hints Tony could face a similar fate. Although Tony doesn't fully grasp the threat, Vic's calm demeanor unsettles him. This scene reveals even more of the darkness lurking within Vic. Vic eventually becomes unable to tolerate Melinda's affair with Tony. Tony and Melinda's growing intimacy triggers Vic's suppressed rage, and he begins to plan Tony's murder. The internal conflict Vic has been experiencing finally pushes him over the edge, leading him to contemplate extreme actions. Vic's descent into violence is marked by his increasingly unstable behavior. One day, Vic kills Tony by drowning him and makes detailed plans to dispose of the body. Tony's death marks a turning point in Vic and Melinda's relationship, as Melinda becomes acutely aware of Vic's role in his disappearance. Rather than fear Vic, however, Melinda becomes captivated by the realization that Vic might have committed murder for her. This only heightens her fascination with him. After killing Tony, Vic disposes of his body by throwing it into a river and hiding it among the rocks. However, Vic makes a critical mistake. While riding his bike through the shallow water, Tony's wallet falls out of his pocket and into the river. This mistake will play a significant role in the film's later events. Following Tony's disappearance, Melinda's attitude toward Vic shifts. Having seen Vic's dark side firsthand, Melinda is strangely drawn to him. She becomes increasingly attracted to him, feeling a mixture of fear and admiration. The knowledge that Vic is willing to commit murder for her transforms their relationship. Their already volatile marriage takes on a new dynamic, with both characters trapped in a dangerous and obsessive cycle of love and hatred. Melinda no longer flaunts her relationships as openly as she did before, aware of what Vic is capable of. While Vic's willingness to kill unnerves her, it also fuels her desire for him. In this new phase of their relationship, Vic's violence becomes the foundation of their renewed, albeit toxic, attraction. With Tony's disappearance, Vic's darker tendencies fully emerge. No longer content to tolerate Melinda's affairs in silence, Vic actively seeks to control and eliminate the men in her life. His obsession with keeping Melinda happy, no matter the cost, drives him to commit increasingly dangerous acts. Vic becomes more and more unhinged, willing to go to any length to secure his place in Melinda's life. Melinda, meanwhile, continues to seek out new relationships, albeit more cautiously. Vic's actions have frightened her, but they have not diminished her desire for freedom. However, her flirtations with other men only serve to exacerbate Vic's instability, and the tension between them escalates further. Vic's obsession with Melinda ultimately consumes him. As their relationship spirals further out of control, it becomes clear that there is no turning back for either of them. Vic's willingness to commit murder to prove his love has transformed their marriage into something dark and irredeemable. His escalating violence and Melinda's continued provocations drive them to the brink of destruction. The film leaves the audience pondering the future of Vic and Melinda's relationship. Their toxic dynamic has reached a point where both characters are trapped in a dangerous and self-destructive cycle. The film ends on a note of ambiguity, suggesting that their relationship may continue to deteriorate as both Vic's darkness and Melinda's manipulations persist. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video. See you in the next video.